friends, we begin our trip of Georgia with this amazing city of Kutaisi, which is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities of the world. Right from the 5th century BC, it was capital of the Colchis till later of the Roman Empire Lazica, from whom they sought independence in 1786. However, in 1500 they were attacked by the Ottoman Turks and conquered. So, in the 17th century, the Emirati kings sought the help of Russian Empire to seek independence from them, which they achieved around 1810, and they were annexed to Russia. Today, it is the third most populous after Tbilisi and Batumi.
Having the wine technologies, let's say, and we think that that people were the Aryan people, in fact, and that people how they gave the knowledge about the time, about the constellations, about the star systems, and many how the things in the world, and including the current calendar what we are using. And current also the alphabet, for example, what we are using, because Georgian alphabet, it's quite interesting thing. It has its like not only like characters or some meanings or something like this. It holds the esoterical knowledge inside. I think also alphabet of Asom Tauruli, in which each character means something. Like for example, first one is Ani. Anis was the god of the moon, and first character shows the new moon over here. You see, that's the new moon when it shows. So, Doni is the symbol of sun. Vini is the moon calendar, for example. The last is like a number of 12 and 360 degree system, for example, which is like more similar to the year. 12 out of the months, 30 days. Then Mani is the moon symbol with 13 months, and like when it repeats itself in every 4 years, for example. Then we are going to Oni, which is the face of moving earth. That's the face of moving earth. Rai, symbol of Rai is the big, the highest sun, let's say. Then the swastika, which is like the symbol of earth, which for destinations.
This is in an Indian system.
It's a part of Georgian alphabet, huh?
It's a part of Georgian alphabet. It's much more older. Let's say it's the old symbol, which was the gate of gods. Let's say like with this kind of symbol, which is a little bit like this, and 4 dots. Hari is the ratio of the angle which sun is making during the solar eclipse. Let's say 23.5 is the middle, the angle. Highest angle is 67 degree. The lowest is like 23.5. And that's how it makes the solar rotate angles. Then like we have, for example, the Ghani, which is the bigger god, that symbol, the arch symbol. And we also has the pi, Tsili, 31.4. Like this is the mathematical ratio, which they were they already knew, and they were making like some calculations according.
So how many are total?
So in total, it was like
35.
40 characters first of all, and then like some characters were lost, and then it was like 36, and currently we are using 33 characters.
are typical Russian specialty.
So Georgia, which is a country of a population of around 3.7 million, a third of which lives in Tbilisi, the capital. It is considered a transcontinental country because it is located at the intersection of two continents, Eastern Europe and West Asia. The climate is diverse with hot and rainy summers and cold winters. It is surrounded by Turkey, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Russia in the north and Black Sea in the west. So Georgia is one of the fastest growing economies. It's a developing country and the atmosphere is very good and free, it seems, and transparent for business. As far as a traveler is concerned, the country is very popular because of the stunning nature and astonishing diversity. A traveler can dream whatever he wants, like maybe snow-capped mountains, lakes, alpine meadows, canyons painted by flowers, fruits, rushing rivers, palm coasts, ancient caves, mineral waters and sun.
Come.
We had rajma chawal and mashed potato.
So after a brief halt for food, we are proceeding towards Tbilisi, which is a 3-hour drive from Kutaisi. Throughout, we witnessed lush green mountains, green all around. It was verdant, not a spot of barren land. Tbilisi is a very ancient city like Kutaisi, 1500 years old. It has undergone many restorations, innovations, and huge development from what it was centuries ago. There is a fire worship temple here still at Ateshka. Tbilisi is also home to the oldest church, Anchiskati. Part of old Tbilisi was called Sebad for some time. The territory outside the city walls was called the outer city. The first printing house in Tbilisi was made in the 18th century and it printed the gospel in 1709. Tbilisi slowly became a European city since 1801, after it became a part of the Russian Empire. The new rulers immediately started work for the development of Tbilisi in a more sophisticated way. The architecture of this period corresponds to the style of the late classical era of Europe. After arriving at Tbilisi and checking in the hotel, we went on a boat tour, which was incredible, for around half an hour. The boat tours, they started around maybe 11 in the morning till late 10 p.m. in the evening. So it was a very nice view from the boat where we could see the Church of the Assumption in Meteki, the Ride Park, the Peace Bridge, the fortress. They served us some drinks on board and had music. So with some beverages and wine, our boat tour was very good along the Kura River.
कितने सारे हैं? कहाँ कितने सारे हैं यार? Oh my God.
वो वल्चर भी था। मैंने देखा था, बड़ा बैठा है। उस ब्रांच पे ब्लैक
अरे नहीं लिया मैंने, अभी लेता हूँ। नहीं लिया, बंद हो, पीछे जाओ, पूरा नहीं आ रहे हो, और पीछे, और पीछे।
देखो वो भी नाच रहे उधर।
Here from this boat we can see this cable car. Also we saw while boarding the boat the Meteki church, which is one of the iconic churches of here, very ancient, could be from 5th century. It has been built many times after being destroyed. At one point of time in history it also became a jail prison. The great queen of Tamar in the 13th century, she came and prayed over here for her country, and now it is visible from the boat. You can also see the equestrian 1960 statue of King Tang. The boat ride, we crossed over the river, and here you can see that the passages of Tbilisi streets are lively, where art blooms every corner and they expressive murals to striking graffiti. They also have an international festival where they have a competition
से जाएंगे.
And then we walked over to the old town in a street and came upon a very bizarre structure called the Leaning Tower of Tbilisi. It is an incredibly odd sight. Actually, it is a modern structure, the brainchild of a puppeteer, Rizzo. It's hard not to fall in love with it, especially when the window opens at the small balcony at the top and a mannequin of angels strikes the bell. And below the clock, a screen opens and shows a circle of life: boy meets girl, marriage, childbirth, and funeral. The surroundings of this street are fantastic, with many cafes and restaurants, as well as a beautiful souvenir shop.
Look here.
So I would request that any tourist should never miss this street called Shardini Street, which is one of the most lively areas. Very popular for
Georgian restaurant.
local Georgian cuisine as well as international dishes.
A Georgian restaurant.
A must visit place.
Freedom Square. देखो इधर देखो see information center NATO and EU.
Which was built in Tbilisi by Daci, and Anci is the small city in Italy where they paint the fresco. You see the face of Jesus. That is the original the fresco, original the painting from 6th century. That icon was taken in Georgia, and it's still kept here. The original is in the museum, but the replica is name is appearing. Anchi is the place, and Khati is the icon. Let's say. So this place called icon from Khat. ancient. Let's see. Let's go inside. That's the basilica of the structure. You see, the main temple is goes up there and is inside. So the temple didn't have a dome yet because it's in 6th century we were not building the temples with the dome. And we did not have that out in the architecture so far. Can I look that far?
The ancient 4th century Maidan Bazaar is tucked away in the underground of Tbilisi and a sparkle of fantasy, like story of Vikings and witches and Harry Potter like feel. You must go over there because it has old charms in a dark color, history unique setting, and you can find anything from honey to coins to swords, millions of souvenirs and old place. The entrance itself is fun, and you climb down the short stairs and enter the archways. You'll be welcomed by thousands of souvenirs. A must-visit place. If witch and wizardly shops were real, Maidan Bazaar is what it would look like.
Wow, this is so good.
Reich Park is a popular centrally located recreational park with dancing fountains, children's playground and beautiful surroundings. Here, we walk from there to take the cable car. It is notable for its cableway which connects the left bank to the right bank Narikala fortress, which has got one of the most prominent historical monuments. It was opened in 2012. On the hilltop, you get an overview of the entire Tbilisi city, a 360-degree aerial panoramic view, which you can see while you are going up the cable car. This cable car ride takes only a few minutes, but while you're in the cabin with the huge windows, you can get a 360-degree aerial view of the city, and you can spot all the iconic structures, the church, the Peace Bridge, etc. When you get to the hilltop station and turn to the right, then you see a huge statue of Mother of Georgia. And if you go to left, then there are the botanical gardens, and if you follow the steps downhill to the Narikala fortress.
ये देखो यहाँ से पता नहीं किसकी बात कर रहे तुम, बट यू सी टिब्लिस का व्यू यहाँ से कितना अच्छा है. That's the Peace Bridge. देखो, yesterday we walked. देखो, listen. That वहाँ से देखो ना, मीटर स्क्वायर से we crossed that bridge है ना, वो वाला bridge cross करके then we went there. फिर वहाँ से हम लोग we walked that street ना, फिर उधर से लगे that is where
गोल्डन
वाला कहाँ गया. हाँ फ्रीडम स्क्वायर से फिर चल के हम उधर गए लिबर्टी स्क्वायर.
तो उसने यहाँ से लेके टैक्सी जो लिया था 5 लीरा लेता है, इधर तो दूर होगा ना शायद.
Yeah, whatever it is, yes. It's a nice kind of medieval type लगता ना थोड़ा बहुत.
गाना बजा रहा है, उसकी म्यूजिक के साथ एक वीडियो लो.
بس في واحدة بتضحك انت.
लगा वीडियो लगा.
अरे वीडियो लगा हुआ है.
हाँ?
वीडियो लगा हुआ है मुझे पता.
अच्छा. यहाँ पे बैठते हो वीडियो लगा. गाना दे.
رحمة طاجكستان.
वो भी आएगा स्टैचू.
sometimes wine called the grape's name, and sometimes wine called the place name where this grape grows. It is raised, which it's a little microphone in red side of Georgia in Lake America, and grape's name called the Sighnaghi. We make this wine according to a famous Italian periodic recommendation. With his recommendation, we add some filter, which keeps this wine luxury aroma. This is a naturally semi-sweet wine, and because of the fact, this wine you can drink with desserts and salads because it's sweet, okay? And this wine has aroma, pear, and citrus. All wine has 12% alcohol. No way. Now, come closer, give me your glasses. I pour you wine. Then rate me number 24 because next one. This company is a 22 years old company. This is one of the most factory in Georgia. And we have a different kinds of wines. You see how many different kind of wines we have? But for tasting, we have best 7 wines. First wine you should taste called Twiggy. Sometimes wine called the grape's name, and sometimes wine called the place name where this grape grows. In this case, Twiggy is a little microdome in red side of Georgia in Lake America, and grape's name called the Sighnaghi, which keeps this wine luxury aroma. This is a naturally semi-sweet wine, and because of the fact this wine you can drink with dessert and salad because it's sweet, okay? And this wine has aroma of pear and citrus. All wine has 12% alcohol. Normal. Now, come closer, give me your glasses. I pour you wine and so on. But this grape grows in Kazbegi place always becomes a semi-sweet. Because, first of all, this place, Kazbegi, is a sunny place. More sunny always means more sweetness because sunny gives grape sweetness, okay? And technology absolutely different. You see? Inside we have a -4 and inside also we have an ice. Different type of grapes needs different minus temperature. So, main question is why we need minus inside. So, we need minus because we should stop a fermentation process, okay? If we keep going this process, wine becomes more and more dry because between fermentation all grape sugar burn, dissolved, okay? And we say we stop fermentation process, we kill yeast bacteria and stop the fermentation process. That's why wine stays semi-sweet. And also we need minus because wine don't like high temperature. Wine always likes low temperature because in high temperature maybe it starts to vinegar, okay? This wine is very good for your body, for your digestive system. If you have a low blood pressure, this wine also is perfect. Every doctor says you that you should drink 1 glass Kazbegi all day. It's like a Georgian medicine, okay? Let's take a medicine. And in Georgia, sometimes we joke and call that it's a black wine, not red, okay? Red wine must be drinking room temperature, and white wine must be chill. It's a rule, but I like both chill, okay? Little bit shake glass to open aroma. This needs a little bit air to come to open inside aroma. Then warm a little bit by your hands and then enjoy. Take a medicine, please. Sighnaghi is a little microzone in west side of Georgia in Racha region, and there grows 2 types of grapes, Muturetuli and Alexandrouli. But both types of grapes are very, very rare, and because of this fact, this wine rarely exported, only 1%, and this is one of the most expensive wine because only small microzone grows these grapes, okay? You know, winemakers tried to grow these grapes another place in Kakheti region, but it lost its taste because soil is very important. Soil gives special mineral, special taste grapes. This wine is a limited edition, and this is one of the most expensive wine. And this is also semi-sweet as the previous wine, but color is different. It's a ruby light color, and also this is not so sweet as the previous one. You can feel balance of aromas inside. What means a balance? Little bit sour, little bit sweetness inside. Okay? Yeah. Now comfort is as old, as good, as expensive always. Okay? This is a 10 years old brandy. This oak bottles is from French oak bottles. We always save our brandy in French oak bottles. And because of this fact, you can feel oak taste inside. You can feel chocolate taste also inside, but these need a little bit too warm. Okay? Yes, to open aroma inside. So, 40% alcohol inside. It's a strong, but it's a rule. It's a cold.
This is cognac. It's actually cognac.
Toast. Toast is very important for us, okay? And cheers in Georgia means Galmar Jones. We say Galmar Jones. And when it's louder, it will be more better, okay? I count 1, 2, 3, then I say Galmar. You say together Josh 3 times, okay? And then drink fast, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
You know rules, okay? So, 1, 2, 3, Galmar! Well done. Listen.
Great.
Repeat, Chacha. No. Are you sure?
No. You will be sleeping here.
It's a perfect area. It's a, sometimes I call this, it's a heaven.
So after finishing our visit to the KTW wine factory, where we sampled 4-5 types of wines and took a bottle as a souvenir, we then proceed now next to our next attraction of Georgia, which is in the Kakheti region, which is a town of named as Sighnaghi. It is also known as the love city of Georgia, and the moment we entered the town, we simply fell in love with it. It is quite a popular destination for tourists as well as locals. The town has gone some significant restoration and improvement, so it has become all the more high on the list of tourists. Casino, gambling, high-end hotels, dining, fine wines, and a stunning view of the Alazani Valley makes this one of the most attractive towns. So Sighnaghi sits on atop of a bluff overlooking the Alazani Valley, which is one of Georgia's most famous wine producing regions. Sighnaghi is a place to start a wine tour generally. It's charming cobblestone streets and alleys, and its original Nouveau woodwork and detailed facades give the town a very romantic, mystique and appeal. No wonder it is billed as a city of love. It is also a very popular wedding venue. So the registry office here was the first to operate around the clock and put it on as a destination on the map. It has got 2 churches here. It has also got a museum which has got these paintings of the famous painter, Georgian painter Nico. Then there is a monastery here, Port Bay Monastery, 2 kilometers away. Here we went to the city wall, Now, Sighnaghi's city wall is an impressive remnant of the medieval past, like 13th century, and definitely worth a visit. The wall has over 20 towers, which are named for the town at the end of the road. Only a small section is open for walking where we went, but the views overlooking the Alazani Valley are stunning, not to be missed. So we could see all the small towns from this viewpoint. This town is also famous for its restaurants. There is fusion food, and there is called local winery also. You get vegetarian options over here also, and many of the Georgian cheeses. It is also perfect destination for a traditional Georgian homestay. So many people do that. The inhabitants in this town are very few, maybe 3,000. In the past, somewhere around 1710, there were maybe only mostly Armenians staying in this town, but slowly their ratio diminished. So it is one of the prettiest towns here in Georgia and a must-see destination. We had a lunch over here at one of a very quaint restaurant with all brickwork, and this was like one of the another highlights of this day. So Sighnaghi has got very cute buildings which give a very ancient medieval feel. Surely takes you back in history. And we ended the day with a stop at a vineyard where we could see grapes hanging from the trees, green grapes, fresh bunches and bunches, and we couldn't stop ourselves from clicking a few photos. Our last day in Georgia, we went to Kazbegi in the Kutaisi region, and we had a stopover at the Jinwali Reservoir Dam, which is a hydroelectric dam. It is very beautiful place and worth stopping over for taking fantastic photographs. Next, we stopped at the Anna Novi Church, which has got two legends about Anna, a woman being captured by soldiers and killed, and another falling in love with a man who betrayed her. Here we lighted a few candles and contemplated. So after the Anunari fort, we next have to go to the Gergeti Trinity Monastery and the Friendship Monument. So our journey in Kazbegi to reach these locations was so fantastic that we felt we were transported to entirely another world. Greenery around, valleys, the mountains looking surreal. The Gergeti Trinity Monastery is perched high above the town of Stipenstiminda. This is 14th century monastery, and against the dramatic backdrop of Mount Kazbek is one of Georgia's most photographed landmarks. The journey to Gergeti is also an adventure in itself, and we cannot go by an ordinary vehicle. We have to take a four-wheel drive, as the path is very steep and through winding mountain roads. And upon reaching the top, you will be rewarded with breathtaking panoramic views that stretch across the valleys and peaks. The monastery's remote location and spiritual significance offers a profound sense of peace and awe, making it a perfect location to visit. I think the Russia and Georgia border is somewhere close to this monastery, Kazbegi. As we were nearing the Gergeti monastery, the temperature suddenly dropped and it became quite chilly, and everyone put on their jackets. There was a slight drizzle too.
This is the temple, Prana. It's a temple or church? In Georgia, they have built churches on temple structure, existing together, something like that.
ये मोनेस्ट्री क्या लग रहा था उस रोड से ऊपर से? चलो अक्षय, हम लोग को अंदर भी जाना है ना, उसके अंदर चलो।
The Gergeti Trinity Church or Monastery is a 14th century structure situated on the bank of Chekri River. It is an elevation of 7,120 feet under Mount Kazbek. There is a bell tower over there. Its isolated location on the top of a steep mountain surrounded by the vastness of nature has made it a symbol of Georgia. The 18th century Georgian author wrote that in times of danger, precious relics from Metsheka, including St. Nino's cross, were brought here for safekeeping. During the Soviet era, all religious services were prohibited, but the church remained a popular tourist destination. The church is a popular waypoint for trekkers in the area and can be reached by a steep 1.5 hour climb. while traveling to the outskirts of Tbilisi in Georgia in this month of June, we were thoroughly amazed by the nature as landscape upon landscape kept unfolding before us, and we were totally hooked onto it. This experience was singular and unique also because of the nature of the people in Georgia also. Though this is a Christian dominated country, 85%, people of many ethnicities live here in total harmony. 11% Muslims and some Jews and Bahas. Georgian is a main language spoken over here, and wherever we went we saw traces of some kind of descent from their culture into even our Indian culture. So we were so happy with our places which we visited, and this is a place where you can go into a meditative state and the soul feels thoroughly quenched and immersed in beauty, as everything is so untouched and virgin, pristine, peaceful. So you can see that across the skyline many people are doing paragliding. So paragliding is a very simple and beautiful way to see the peaks. Imagine them in even in winter seasons when you can see the snowy mountain tops otherwise inaccessible. Tandem flights here are the way people do it. They are very reasonable for say 50, 60 or 100 euro depending on 10, 20, 30 minute drive. This is an awesome sport and must be on everyone's bucket list, and the rush lasts through the entire flight here. Beginner and intermediate pilots are also fine in occasional tandem flight. Paragliding is very popular here and filled with the high cliffs, hot sun and icy peaks. Opportunity to catch a thermal in Georgia is overwhelming and probably the cheapest you can find in the world. We arrived at the Godavari Friendship Monument, which is 120 kilometers away from Tbilisi on the Georgian military highway connecting to Russia. The government of Soviet Union had built this monument in order to celebrate 200 years since the Treaty of Georgia signed in 1783. The panorama here is decorated with Soviet-style mosaics depicting Georgian and Russian heroes, farmers, fairy tales and communist symbols. The monument is very vivid and colorful. However, most of its beauty is thanks to the location. Georgia-Russia may not be on friendly terms, but the monument is really worth a look. So you can see there that that is a monument, is a circular balcony hanging off a 600-meter cliff with amazing view of the Caucasus Mountains. Not everyone is brave enough to step on the very edge of the balcony, but the memories are surely worth it. And Gudauri has become a very popular spot for extreme lovers. So people go there and soar over the beautiful mountains with a video of a paragliding, which they do with professional pilots. The soaring, billowing, fast moving clouds hanging on the lofty mountains reminded me of a poem where the clouds represented the changing nature of humans. The spontaneity of human emotions. This was nature at its best. As they say, a walk in nature walks the soul back home. And then we proceeded towards Sea Hotel, finishing the last day of our sightseeing, again witnessing the amazing scenery and carrying a feeling of being overwhelmed at beautiful Georgia. For a foodie, Tbilisi is littered with cafes and restaurants which are diverse and known for their architecture and flavorful food. And there are many they have eclectic design and unique atmosphere. We ended the day in a restaurant having the famous kachapuri along with lobio, which is kidney bean stew, and machadi, which is Georgian cornbread.